our trip is officially done, so let's leave Mississippi and make our way to Nashville, Tennessee. I think that's my cue to be done. Well, welcome back everybody. Leg 2, we're about to get started. The sun is going to start setting here in about an hour or so, so we made really good time. It's 3:30, we're filed, we're ready to go, so let's start up this airplane and hit the sky. Rotating beacon light is on, mixture full, throttle idle, primers in and locked, master fuel pump on, door latched. Let's do this thing. Clip up! All set up and good to go here. Set full fuel here. Perfect. Parking brake is set. Seatbelts are fastened, flaps are up, heater and defrost are both turned off. Avionics master switch is on, all gauges are illuminated. Perfect. Listen to our weather, set our altimeter, and pick up our clearance. A lot of people just randomly showed up because the sun is starting to go down, so it looks like everybody is calling it for today. But we'll just get out of everybody else's way.
Key tower information whiskey. 2058 Zulu observation. Wind 290 at 07. Weather is better than 5005. Temperature 11. Dew point -02. Altimeter 3022. Pressure altitude +23. Expect a visual approach. Runways 1 and 4 in use.
Good evening, Key Field, Cherokee 773 November, ready to pick up IFR to Nashville, please.
November 773, 8 November, key ground, clear to Kilo, Bravo, November, Alpha Airport as filed. On departure, fly runway heading, maintain 5,000, expect 7,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.5 and squawk 5551.
Okay, clear to Kilo, Bravo, November, Alpha via direct, or as filed. I'll fly runway heading on takeoff. Frequency will be 120.5. I'll fly up to 5,000, expect 7,000 within 10 minutes, and squawk 5551, 7738 November.
November 3, November, read back correct.
That was a little jacked. My pen stopped working on me, so I had to remember what he said, but that worked out, so that's okay. All right, so Nashville International, that's right. We are flying to a Class Charlie today. It's going to be awesome. We're just direct, so that's perfect. We've got that all set up in here. Go ahead over here, set that up on the iPad. NA. And we're going to climb up to 7,000. Key ground, Cherokee 773 in November is at the FBO, ready to taxi with information whiskey.
Cherokee 38 November, runway 4, taxi via Bravo.
Runway 4 via Bravo, 7738 November. The sun is definitely starting to set quickly, so looking like we might get some night flying in. Wouldn't that be fun? It is currently 3:41 for me. We are departing Mississippi, and we are starting leg 2 to Nashville, Tennessee.
Cherokee 7738 November, runway 1, taxi via Alpha, straight ahead all the way down.
Runway 1, taxi Alpha, 7738 November, thanks. I could have sworn he said runway 4 via Bravo, but hey, maybe he decided to switch it. No worries, we'll just keep that taxi coming. All right. Well, we are supposed to be in the air for about 2 hours after we take off. We do have direct right now, and we're not in a super busy area, so hopefully we get to keep direct for a while. That being said, I have decided to fly into the Class Charlie. I want to see all of the runway lights and, of course, be able to show you. So I'm not anticipating we're going to get direct for very long, but we'll find out. Time will tell. It always does. Cool. We're still on Alpha. We're taxiing over to runway 1, which it looks like we are almost to. And really no dedicated run-up area, so we'll just hold short of the runway, and then if somebody comes around that's ready before we are, then obviously we will, just get out of their way. We can come over here to the side a bit, though. This is a pretty wide taxiway. Okay. RPM's 1,000. Perfect. Attitude indicator, we've got blue over brown, wings are level, ballast centered. Airspeed does indicate 0, we're within 75 feet of field elevation and not indicating a climb or descent. HSI aligns with magnetic compass within 10 degrees and there are no bubbles, cracks, or leaks. Flight controls are free and correct because we also tested our brakes and our rudders while we were taxiing all the way down here, so that looks great. All of our engine instruments are officially in the green too, and CHT is starting at 318. Mixture is best power, primer is in and locked, and now we're going to bring our RPMs up to 2,000. Right magneto check, small drop, all gauges are in the green, and back to both. Left magneto now, another small drop and everything remains in the green. Back to both. Carb heat on. Plus about 40 RPM there, carb heat off. And power to idled. Key tower, Cherokee 773, November, holding short, runway 1, ready for departure.
Cherokee 7738 November, Key Tower, runway 1, wind 330 at 6, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading. Traffic departing runway 4 to the north is a Navion.
Roger, I'll keep an eye out for the traffic. Cleared for takeoff, runway 1, I'll fly runway heading, 773 November, thank you. And full power, here we go. Airspeed's alive, all gauges are in the green and looking good. And rotate. It's definitely cold. Heater on. Electric fuel pump off. Fuel pressure remains in the green, as do all other gauges. Landing light off. Perfect.
Cherokee 38 November, contact departure, safe flight.
Over to departure. Take care. 773 November.
You too.
Good evening, departure. Cherokee 7738 November, checking in, heading at 010, climbing through 1,700.
November 7738, November, bring approach radar contact.
That was easy. Autopilot on, heading mode active.
Contact marine.
Continue climbing at about 110 or so. Might as well get some altitude. Everything's looking really good. Definitely a little bumpy up here though. Even autopilot's having difficulty holding altitude. Kind of funny. So quick check-in, we are currently climbing through 2,500 for 5,000. Our cylinder head temperature is 398, RPMs are at 2,500. Mixture is still full rich because I don't want to lean it out just yet. I will lean it out once we get up to 5,000 feet. So we are currently burning 15 gallons per hour. Brutal, I know.
November, turn right on course.
Right on course, 773 November, thanks. Sweet. Nav mode. Direct. Ooh, this might be an even easier flight than the first leg was. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch it after this one, of course. Perfect. Come over here. Direct. Excellent. As you can probably tell, the sun is definitely starting to go down. It is 4 o'clock, and the sun officially starts setting at 4:33 in Nashville. So we might get a little bit of actual nighttime, which means we're going to be able to see all of those really cool, just absolutely gorgeous runway lights. I don't fly at night very often, but I did recently, and I've missed it, so I am excited to get back into it.
7,000, contact marine approach 120.905.
120.905, climbing team 7,000, 773 November, thank you. Good evening, approach Cherokee 773 in November, checking in, direct to destination, climbing through 4,200 for 7,000.
Was that Cherokee 773 in November?
Affirmative for 773 in November.
Cherokee 773 in November, Meridian approach, McCain altimeter 3024.
3024, 773 in November, thanks. Well, even though we're in a climb right now, our time en route is 3 hours, 4 minutes and dropping rapidly. I'm really hoping that we have a tailwind. It says that we're supposed to have a headwind when I filed and I did my weather brief, but I'm hoping that it's wrong. It usually isn't, but, you know, a girl could dream. But if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed today's flight, or tonight's flight, if you want to get real precise. Overall, we will have about 6.5 hours of flight time, give or take, today, which is awesome. And I'm just really glad that you could be here. Welcome to the Caviators. There's a little rainbow in the sky. Not gonna need to keep my sunglasses on too much longer. All right, we're about to hear a loud beeping sound indicating that we are 1,000 feet away from our selected altitude. Once we get up there, we will lean out the mixture and start saving gas.
7 miles northeastbound is a Cherokee.
Nailed it.
3,500. Once you're behind them, I'll get you lower.
Not us. We're not VFR and we're not at 3,500 feet, so he is not talking about us. Alright, so it's kind of stabilized. It looks like 2 hours, 35 minutes. By the time we level off, we lean out the mixture, we speed up a little bit, we'll probably be right around the 2 hour, 20 minute mark. Go ahead and leave a comment right now and let me know what your guess is as far as how long it's going to take us to get from Meridian, Mississippi to Nashville International. I'll like the comment if you get it right. We're still climbing at 500 feet per minute. We have 500 feet to go until we level off at that 7,000. And we're still climbing at 110 miles per hour, so looking good so far. That loud beeping sound indicates that we are now 200 feet away from our selected altitude. If you didn't know, that actually happens when we're both climbing and descending. So when we come into land and we're 200 feet away from a selected altitude or 1,000, we will still hear that beeping sound. It's just a nice, gentle reminder to the pilots to know where we are altitude-wise, which is pretty cool. And just like that, there is our 7,000 feet. So we're going to start speeding up now. I'm going to pull a little power back just to kind of see what that's looking like. And we're going to lean our mixture out to save on fuel. Right now our fuel flow is roughly 14.5 gallons per hour. So we'll lean out that mixture. Also got to watch those RPMs. Pull that back just a bit. There we go. And I like to lean it out until I can feel that engine roughness, and then I just slightly enrich in that. And that puts us at about between 10.5 to 11 gallons per hour. And at 2650 RPMs, I'm good with that. Our CHT is level at 368 degrees. Indicated airspeed is 131, ground speed is 136, so we have a tiny tailwind, not much. And I was way off. Our estimated time to destination is 1 hour 59 minutes, so that actually saved us a ton of time, which is awesome. I always love flying to airports that I've been to before because I start to recognize people, and so the manager over there, he's so nice. He gave me, like, hold on, let me show you. He gave me like a whole bunch of shirts. So Pops actually requested them, so that's why I asked for one. But he gave us a green one. And he also gave him a blue one. This one I actually already have. Nice. We love it. This is the back. So cool. And he gave me a green one. Now they didn't have a small or a medium left, so he had to give me a large, but I'm still so excited. So, once again, Meridian, amazing. I will 100% be back. I also got to meet a fan when I stopped in to the FBO. And just like that, it's already that time to switch tanks. So we have 25 gallons in the left and 20 in the right. So I'm going to turn my electric fuel pump on. Let's check our fuel pressure is in the green. Looks solid. Roll that fuel selector over here to that left tank. Verify the fuel pressure is still in the green. Again, looks solid. Electric fuel pump off. Looks just as good. Awesome. and in normal fashion, of course, now it says that I have 21 gallons in my right tank, but that always is off by like a gallon or two anytime I switch it. I always miss it by 1 gallon, I swear. I've never learned how to do that. I'm not going to do it on the radio, but I will do it for y'all. We'll try it. Ready? See ya! You can let me know in the comments if that was absolutely horrible or not, or if you think it was good enough to do it on the radios if ATC does it first. I try not to do this every video, but I do like to kind of introduce myself for anybody who might be brand new to the channel. So, in short, my name is Kay. I'm 27 years old. I live in Houston, Texas. I've moved around quite a bit. I am also a CFI, CFII. I am just not actively instructing. If you don't know what CFI is, Certified Flight Instructor, it means that I can teach people how to fly. And CFII means Certified Flight Instructor Instrument, which means I can teach people how to fly in cloud.
Number contact Columbus approach 135.6. Good day.
135.6. Have a good night. 7738 November.
You too.
Good evening. Approach Cherokee 7738 November. Checking in 7000. I just lost my voice temporarily. That was bizarre.
Number 7738 November. Columbus approach loud and clear. Columbus altimeter 3021.
3021 773 November. Thank you. Cool. All right, what I was trying to tell y'all is the winds are coming from 310 at 33 miles per hour. So we are currently on a heading 012. So the winds are not necessarily hurting or helping us. They're pretty neutral right now. It would be nice if they would go behind us so we could have a tailwind. We could have had a tailwind had I filed for 9,000 or 11,000 feet. But I did not feel like doing that. I did not feel like climbing up that high, and especially with it getting dark and me flying by myself, didn't want to deal with any possible hypoxia. So I have to give a very special shout out to Jason Bittinger. You left me a comment and said, come to Nashville, Tennessee. And you know what? I actually had already decided to fly to Nashville before I saw your comment, but I have to give you props because great minds think alike. Thank you for the great recommendation. I'm really looking forward to coming. About a year ago, I was actually supposed to fly to Nashville, and between weather and some maintenance on Lil Red, I wasn't able to make the flight, so I'm really excited to go and check it out. I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to do, so by the time I land, it will be dinner time. But if the city is beautiful as I think it's going to be and I can find some live music, I will be a very, very happy camper. But Jason, thank you for the recommendation. And to anybody who's watching this, if you have a recommendation on where Lil Red and I should fly to, leave a comment, let us know, because you never know, you might get a shout out in the next video. I think that would be awesome.
Whiskey 11, your radar contact 10 miles northeast of Nashville Airport. Maintain lateral confines of Blue Low.
Whiskey 11, disregard.
Whiskey 12, radar contact 10 miles northeast of Nashville Airport. Maintain Blue Low.
There's two airplanes with a similar call sign. That's why you heard somebody else come on and say disregard. Oh my gosh, it's 34 degrees outside. Now that's cold. Somebody tried to tell me 41 degrees wasn't cold on my last video in the comments, and while I do understand where you're coming from because he said that he lives in the Northeast, that's cold for me. And 34 degrees is really cold. Luckily, we have the sun beating into the airplane, and I also have my heater about halfway. As that sun continues to go down, though, I will most likely have to go full because I hate being cold more than anything. It's like my biggest pet peeve. So, do you have a pet peeve? If so, leave a comment and let me know. I'll try my best not to do it. I think now is a pretty good time for a popcorn break. So, let's give it a go. Eek. This is what it looks like. They let me put it in a solo cup. Not too shabby. A little salty, but I don't eat that much salt, so that would kind of make sense. If it was warm, it would be perfect. Oh well, it is what it is. It's currently getting colder by the millisecond. Okay, that's a little dramatic, but it's getting cold fast. It's now 34 degrees out there, so Quick check-in, 1 hour, 33 minutes until destination. RPMs are still 2650. Cylinder head temperature is 381. Exhaust gas temperature is between 1500 and 1520, so that looks good. Fuel flow is 11 gallons per hour and all other gauges are in the green. Indicated airspeed is 133 and ground speed is 133, so no headwind or tailwind really affecting us at 7,000 feet. Not too shabby. That temperature is getting colder, so I'm turning the heat all the way up this time. I thought about bringing a blanket and I didn't. Maybe I should have. Worst case scenario, maybe there's just a hot chocolate or a hot tea or a hottie toddy waiting for me. I don't know. One of my absolute biggest goals in life is to go and celebrate New Year's in New York City. I was hoping to be able to do it this year, but alas, didn't work out. So maybe next year, I'll keep my fingers crossed. But, I mean, if you could spend New Year's Eve anywhere, where would it be? Leave me a comment and let me know, because maybe I'm just thinking of somewhere that everybody thinks about. Maybe there's something cooler out there. I don't know. I need you to tell me. Time to turn on all the lights. So right now I am turning the brightness down on my GI 275 gauge. Might as well turn it all the way down. And I will just have to remember to turn it back up tomorrow when I get back in the airplane. And I'm confused as to why the heck the screen is so dark. That looks better to me. Perfect. And now, come back over here. There we go. I think we'll turn the G5s down to 60 looks good. We'll turn it down more if needed as it gets darker. There we go. Much better. Turn down the iPad too. There may be a Nashville sweatshirt in my future tonight. I'm cold. We have currently 1 hour and 11 minutes to our destination. RPMs are rocking 2640. Cylinder head temperature 379. All gauges are in the green. We're burning a little less than 11 gallons per hour, so everything's looking fantastic. I used to do a lot of flying when I lived in Arizona, and obviously I did a lot of night flying because I was instructing over there. And if you've never been to Arizona, especially where I was living at the time in Mesa, it's all desert once you leave the major city. And I'm just looking out and it's just reminding me of living in Arizona. Just sparsely populated, not a whole lot of lights and stuff. You can tell when you get close to a city because it just lights up on the ground, which I think is pretty cool. This is the Palavo Pineapple Mango. If you've never had one of these, I do recommend them. They're pretty good. And they're only 10 calories and 55 milligrams of caffeine per bottle. It even says like a cup of green tea, so not too bad. I'm not even tired, I just like the taste. I'm the same way with coffee though. I will drink coffee any time of day and wonder why I can't sleep when it gets to like 1 or 2 a.m. Who watching this is a night owl? Like you just prefer to get stuff done at night. Because that's how I am. And I think part of that stems from the fact that, you know, I live with my family. They're amazing. And I get to spend so much time with them. But when they go to bed, I get so much more work done. You know, whether it's planning flights, it's, you know, studying for, let's see, my flight instructor refresher courses, editing these lovely videos for you. I mean, any of that. I just get so much more done after they go to bed. But then I also like to sleep in until like 8 or 9. 9 or 10. Sometimes 10 to 11. It really depends. It really depends. I used to be a lot worse. I've definitely gotten better as far as like the sleep schedule. Of course, being a pilot, you kind of have to be. You can't be tired and fly. That just doesn't work. Alright, so we are catching up to the 1 hour mark, which is awesome. As you can probably tell, it got a lot darker in here. We are going to be switching our tanks here shortly. CHT is 379, all gauges are in the green, RPMs are still 2650, and we're still pretty far away, so we're not going to be able to pick up the weather just yet, but we do have that frequency in, and we are looking good. Listening to some tunes, outside temperature is 30 degrees. Definitely feels like it's 30 degrees. But I've got the heater on and feeling good. So I'm hoping I'm being strategic. I really wanted to come in later because I suspected that it wouldn't be near as busy coming into this class, Charlie. I might be totally wrong. But the good news is we have plenty of fuel on board, so even if we have to shoot an instrument approach, enter a hold, anything like that, we're ready, we're willing. That being said, hopefully ATC will be nice to us and give us direct to come in to land. And if they don't, then we'll play it by ear. We actually have an aircraft flying towards us, and I can tell because their lights are very, very bright. You really can't miss them at all. Let's see if I can figure out who it is. I don't really see anybody unless it's this person. But that would mean they're 7,000 feet above us. They look like they are closer than that, but hey, I could be wrong. Keep an eye on them. We'll see what happens. I think that is them. It's an Envoy airplane. It is that time once again to switch our fuel tank, so electric fuel pump on. Fuel pressure is in the green. Fuel selector over to that right tank here. Fuel pressure remains in the green. And electric fuel pump off. Fuel pressure is still in the green. Looks good. We still have about 3.5 hours worth of fuel on board, and we are down to 57 minutes until we can come into land. So we're making really good time. It's always so funny to me. I have a heater in the airplane, but it really only heats like the bottom, and I know the whole heat rises thing. It doesn't rise that well when you're in an airplane that is over 50 years old. But my legs are on fire, but my upper body is cold. First world problems, I know. It's fine.
8 November, contact Nashville approach, 127.17.
127.17. Have a good night, 773 in November. Good evening, Nashville. Cherokee 773 in November, checking in 5,000 with Foxtrot.
November 773, 8 November National Approach. Expect the visual approach, runway 2 left.
I'll expect the visual runway 2 left, 773 in November, thanks. Too many radio calls today, got all tongue-tied. In a sea of lights, it is almost impossible to locate the runway.
3000, turn 10 degrees right, join the 2 left localizer.
Descend maintain at 3000, 10 degrees to the right, and you said join the 2 left localizer?
Firm, visual to 2 left, but join the localizer. Do you have the frequency?
Negative, but if you could give it to me, that would be helpful, otherwise I can find it.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Hold on 1 second. It's 109.9er.
109.9er, 773 in November, thank you. Procedure. Approach.
Approach, welcome to maintain 5000.
Localizer. Vectors. Load. Yes.
1490.
Approach. Localizer. 02 left. Vectors to final. Add to route. Alright, coming in to that line here. Still do not see the runway.
44, 7,000 descending via the pathway 4.
I know where it's supposed to be, but I do not see it yet. 1,000 feet to go until we reach our selected altitude of 3,000 in this case. And traffic pattern altitude here is 1,600, 1,600. That works. Okay, time to switch tanks. Electric fuel pump on. Fuel pressure is in the green. Rolling that over to the left tank. Fuel pressure remains in the green. Electric fuel pump off. And fuel pressure stays in the green. Looks good. Alright, localizer line is coming in. 200 feet to go until we reach our selected altitude, so that is looking good too. And leveling off at 3,000. So mixture full rich now, plenty of fuel on board, over 2.5 hours with 5 minutes remaining.
Cherokee 38 November, you have to field in sight.
Affirmative for 773 November.
November, roger that. Your clear visual approach runway 2 left. You can contact tower 118.6. You may see here in just a moment a Boeing pass you off your right. They're on the parallel runway.
Roger, I'll keep an eye out switching to tower. Thank you very much. Have a good night. 773 in November. Good evening, Tower. Cherokee 773 in November checking in.
773 in November, Nashville Tower, runway 2 left, clear to land.
2 left, clear to land. 773 in November. Thanks. All right, so there's the bigger runway. There is the to right. And it's faint, but there is 2 left. Looks good. Start pulling some of that power back. Get down to 1,600 feet. Electric fuel pump, landing light on, rotating beacon on. Everything is looking good. Perfect. Beautiful night to fly. Holy moly. I had a bigger jacket. All good. All right. So pulling those RPMs back. Just a hair here. Start slowing myself down. And that is 400 feet to go until we reach our traffic pattern altitude. So add in a little bit more power now. Traffic, 4 o'clock, 300 feet above. Few bumps here. Good amount of crosswind on this side.
Good evening, Break Air
2 red, 2 white, looking good. 200 feet to go.
Right, clear to land, wind 310 at 9 here.
Add in a little bit of back trim.
Endeavor 50.
RPM's 18. All right, within the white arc, first notch of flaps 10 degrees. Pretty bumpy over here. Nice. Second notch 25 degrees.
And just like that, we made it to Nashville, Tennessee. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. It helps the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next flight. Bye.